It's middle of October and only 2 weeks left till Halloween. A night of ghosts, witches, and in this case, rats. Here we got 3 Rat Men and the Rat King for Empire of the Dead game by Westwind Productions. These figures are official Westwind paint jobs, and I believe there's going to be a special scenario for these guys, which will be used to play demos in the coming weeks. They will be released very soon, so it won't be long till you can acquire your own copies. Releasing miniatures for Halloween is nothing new. Making something horror-themed usually does the trick. But what do you do if the game was horror-themed to begin with? The effect may be lost. I suppose you just need to make it look a bit different. What Westwind did here looks edgy enough. The only thing that's missing is Nutcracker. I like these figures a lot. They look really vicious and almost werewolf-like. Yes, they do have rat tails and big front teeth, but if not for that, they could easily pass as werewolves. This particular one I actually wanted to paint as a Confederate soldier, but then I thought that would be taking liberties since this is a Victorian London after all, and even though I kept the original colors, I didn't add any extra details, like the gold filigree for example, or it would just look too much like US Civil War. By the way, when these miniatures were sent to me, they didn't contain any tails, which at that time wasn't even made yet. When I did receive them about months later, the figures were already fully painted. And let's just say that attaching these tails to the fully painted figures, it wasn't fun. Wasn't fun at all. The next rat looks particularly vicious, and even more wolf-like than the previous one. I think it's the pose that did it. He looks like he's howling at the moon. Or it could be something else. He could be going, "Come at me, bro. Yeah, you got a problem, bro? Come at me." They didn't even give him any firearms. Just a knife and a baton. He also has teeth, which can probably chew through anything. I think I succeeded in making them look ragged and dirty. You can't expect rats to wear new clothing, do you? I made some simple scenic bases for the lot. Nothing too fancy, just rough ground with some scattered bricks. No grass this time. They are also quite flat compared to my other bases. These are commissions, so I couldn't do whatever I wanted. But this time I had complete freedom for choosing color scheme. The last Ratman is a little bit better dressed than the others. He probably ate this outfit's previous owner, who might have been a member of a gentleman's club. Now, I wonder if there's actually any lady rats out there. It would be nice if Westwind sculpted some. At the moment, the 3 normal Ratmen and the Rat King are the only miniatures produced for this faction so far. And I don't think there are any plans to produce any more in the near future. If that's the case, then it would be a shame, because, to be honest, there's not enough sculpts here for it to be a faction in its own right. I think there's a lot of potential for expansion here. Female rats, maybe even kid rats. Imagine little rats dressed as Victorian children, that would be fun. And a special character or two wouldn't hurt either. And finally, we have the Rat King. He's much bigger than the others, but his tail is tiny compared to the other rats. But it looks much better than the attachable tails. I didn't expect the Rat King to be a gigantic rat man. Normally, it's a very different kind of monster. You know, when you get a dozen of rats and tie their tails together, they develop powers which can dominate other rats and weak-minded humans. so they basically become like Jedi. But this guy is just a big rat, I think. Now, if other rats look a little like werewolves, then this one looks a bit more like a werebear. I think it must be the round ears. And that's it. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Comments, suggestions and critique is welcome, and I'd really appreciate it if you shared the video. Take care, and I will see you next time.